Great thing, have a coughing fit right before the show. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Merry Christmas Eve to everybody. Hope you're well. I am Monkey. This is Monkey in the Morning. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a great day. I don't know what fucking day it is. I honestly don't. I was shocked the other day, I think yesterday, because I'm sitting here, scrolling YouTube like I do, and all of these highlights for football come up. And I'm like, wow, why are there so many games today? And apparently it was Sunday. This is how bad. Look, guys, don't get old. Don't get old. I here's a little bit embarrassing, but it highlights what happens to your brain as you get older. I was in the living room and I farted and immediately forgot that I farted. And like 10 seconds later, the smell hit me and I was like, what the hell is that smell? And I looked at my wife's face and that's when I realized, oh yeah, I tooted. I could tell by the look of disgust in her face when it hit her, hit her nose as well. But yeah, stay young as you can for as often, or for as often as you can, for as long as you can. Don't get old. It sucks. Anyway, we're going to talk about stupid people tonight. I only had one real example, and for the record, it is excessively dumb. It's going to be Vouch. Sorry, but I I've been watching. Okay, so my timeline on YouTube is so weird. Uh, I watched one video. I don't know what. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much, Flint Dragoon. Merry Christmas, Monk. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is so kind. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Now I feel bad talking about dumb people. I feel like I should be a nicer person tonight, and I'm just not gonna be. But thank you. That is very, very kind. Um. Anyway, so I was watching videos of election reaction because for some reason YouTube decided I needed to see that. So I watched one of them. I don't remember what it was. And then YouTube is like, oh, this guy must like election reactions. Let's show him all of them. And in fairness, they were right. I have watched a couple of them, but none of them quite live up to the Young Turk meltdown from 2022, or sorry, 2016. And I don't think it ever will again, especially after January 6th, because they all have to pretend like they like it. You know what I mean? They they can't get too mad about it because they spent all that time wringing their hands about any kind of question for the election. So they got to be, excuse me, you don't understand. I disagree with this. I believe in the peaceful transfer of power. So they're all real nice about it. There were no I'm better than you moments. What is up, people? Merry Christmas, Monk. Thank you, editor. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But before we get on to Vouch, I this is one of those things where I'm getting ready for the show, and I was getting ready to go send the link to Jack, and I see a tweet, and it contains this graph, and it's one of those things where it just reminding me of how dumb the world is. So this is a graph that says United States Constitution has laws against hate speech. And they asked men and women of different age groups from Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, and boomers. And now this isn't should the Constitution have laws against hate speech. It's does the United States have a constitutional provision against hate speech? For anybody who doesn't know, no, it does not. 100% no. It's not even ambiguous. In fact, the language in the Constitution says speech shall not be abridged. So anyway, all four generations here get the question wrong. Starting with the boomers, 55.7% of women and 38.6% of men think there is a constitutional provision against hate speech. When it gets to my generation, Gen X it's 61% of women and 49% of men. It's getting worse, y'all. Getting worse. Then we get to the retards. I'm so we need to stop calling them millennials and just call them retarded. Sorry for those of you who fall into that group. I'm not saying you're retarded, but your generation 100% unquestionably is fucking retarded. So women 64.5% and 55.2% of men think that there is a law against hate speech in the fucking Constitution. Giving us a little hope, Gen Z comes along and drops it back down to 60.7% of women and 47.2% of men. Now, there's a couple of things to note here. One, if this poll is to be believed, half of America is retarded. Okay. Of all generations, half of them are just fucking retarded. More women in the country than men. So that 60%, yeah, half the country's retarded. And women are the most retarded of the group. I shouldn't really say retarded because that's not kind. Uneducated, because this is an education problem. This isn't actually retarded. This is just an education problem. And I do give the women a little bit of leeway here. And before any of you guys like, how dare you simp? No. Listen to me. Okay. It makes sense that women wouldn't know this more than it does for men. And the reason being is that it deals with politics and history, and that's not really something women generally are as interested in as men are, right? And so I give them a little bit of a pass. And plus, you have all of the talk we've had over the last several years about the need for hate speech laws and shit like that. It's not because of their tiny girl brains. They're just not interested in it, right? It'd be like asking them a question about football, right? Yeah, there's going to be some women who know about it, but the majority of them don't care. Or asking men about I don't know what women like. So purses, there you go. Ask men for their opinion on purses and be like, I don't fucking know. It's a bag. Black Dynamite, thank you so much for the lemon sticker. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. We have different interests. Now, the men here, especially you millennial retards, 55% of you aren't reading your history. You haven't read the fucking Constitution. I mean, just gonna guess. Just gonna be like, yeah, why not? Yeah, there's a hate speech law in the Constitution. Opinions on Pinterest fashion. Yeah, there you go, Faithless. Shit, I don't care about that women do, and that if they asked my opinion on it and I gave it, I would sound like a retard because I just don't know. And if I don't know isn't an option, then I'm gonna have to guess and sound retarded. So, like I said, I do give them a little bit of a break there. Not much. It's not 64%. Fuck. But it does show that, for the record, and I think it was you, Faithless, right? Over on Twitter, brought up women are the ones who got this the most wrong. And we are told over and over again, women are the most educated. That's just factually true. If you look at degrees and stuff, it used to be men, but back around 2016, it switched to where women were getting more degrees than men were. Women are the most educated of us and the least educated because they've been through the education system. They went through high school and college, and they got themselves nice little pieces of paper that said, I repeated what I was told to repeat. I'm smart. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This is the impact of education. We spend billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars on education every year. We have a whole education department that they're like, we can't get rid of that or people will get stupid. I feel like we're not spending our money properly. How in the fuck do you? One of the pillars of the Constitution is the Bill of Rights. And while it's technically not in the Constitution, it's an amendment to the Constitution. And the very first one is about free fucking speech. How do you miss that? Editor, thank you. Monkey is Die Hard a Christmas movie. 100%. The Christmas is not only integral to the plot, but it is about a family coming back together. It's about a family that's been torn apart, and Christmas is what brings them. Christmas and thievery brings them back together. So yeah, it's absolutely a Christmas movie. Anyway, so we had this retarded stuff, and as bad as that is, it is nothing compared to the utter retardation that I saw watching this. Now, what's the name of this guy's channel? I think it's Grifter. I'm not joking. I honestly think that's the name of the channel. Well, we can look. Let's see. Yeah, Grifter. I don't know this guy, but his video popped up, so I decided to watch it. And Grifter, if by chance you're listening, if you're gonna make a compilation, like a meltdown compilation from something like this, shut the fuck up and just do that. I get that you want to add commentary. Don't, because I just kept fast forwarding through you. I'm gonna be honest. I'd see he would make it black and white when he was talking. I'd just skip that shit. Hey Jack, how you doing, my friend? What you doing? What are you doing, bitch? How you doing?
I'm on the air right now. I'm
How are you?
live on the interwebs.
Having a good night?
It's okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
No, not even close. But
why?
We're gonna. Around 9 o'clock, I just started getting this pain in my shoulder, right shoulder. Nobody worry.
Was it a worm?
No, it's one of those random pains that I get, and it's a nerve pain.
Oh,
and it's sucking the energy right out of me.
Yeah, I imagine. Probably tend to do that.
Yeah, it's hard to even use my right hand, which, by the way, is my lighter hand.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm just saying.
That's right up there with your masturbating hand, I guess.
When I was younger.
Real quick, 3 hours ago, Wild Zan sent me a generous donation. I wanted to thank them for that. I'm really sorry for what you're going through. As a sole caregiver for two parents in their 80s, one with dementia, I know it can be brutal. Oh, tell me about it. Prayers, and I wish I could do more. Well, I appreciate the donation, and I can sympathize with your situation all too well. And hang in there. It's brutal. It really is.
I'm glad you said that, because I did get one myself and I forgot all about it. Thank you, Wild Zan. It's my 15th annual 39th birthday. Sing for Zan, and we shall. I had to take Vouch off the screen because I'm not going to do that to somebody. I'm not going to have Vouch on the screen when I sing to him.
No, God, no. Oh, that's mean.
Wild Zan, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zan.
Wild Zan.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hope you had a great one. Really, really do.
Indeed.
All right. Jack, I was telling the audience, look, I don't think very highly of Vouch to begin with.
Well, yeah, he's a retard.
He also is a pedophile. Hey, I'm not the one that enjoys drawings of little kids getting plowed. That's you, Vouch. That makes you a pedophile.
Yeah, that definitely would fall under the umbrella for me.
Yeah.
So,
and I thought I'd heard him say the dumbest shit I could ever hear him say. And then I watched this video.
Oh, that's always impressive with him. It's like he finds new depths of stupidity on Wikipedia for us to laugh at.
Well, he's going to explain the Electoral College.
Oh, God, why?
Oh, it's going to be worse than you even think, I promise.
Oh, dude, are you serious? Like, Vouch is seriously one of the handful of people, not only do I have zero respect for, but no matter what bar of standards I sink to for him, it should be lower.
Yeah. He finds a way to crawl under it, even though it's pressed as firmly against the ground as it can go.
Yeah, it's like he digs trenches under there, like the Palestinians trying to break into Israel or digging tunnels for him. And somehow, like, he always says something stupid in the most smug, self-righteous way. Like, oh, I can't believe you didn't know this. And he's not right. That's the worst part for me is I can't stand smug people that are consistently wrong.
Oh, just wait till how wrong he gets in this one. Oh, it is impressively stupid even for him.
I knew I should have watched another episode of Suits before coming in.
So this is from his election night coverage, which at the beginning of he was like, "We're gonna win," and then by the end he was like, "I just don't get it. I don't understand."
Yeah, of course not. Well,
So
he's not smart.
I've now watched his the big group that Destiny was a part of on that night, which had lots of people in it. I watched part of Kyle Kalinski's and part of David Packman's, and all I could think of every time I watched each of them is, how could you have thought she was going to win? And all of them are like, there was nothing that showed it was going to go like this. When did I finally call the race, guys? When did I start saying, yes, this one is Trump's? Because there was a while I'm like, this could go to Kamala. Maybe a month before, Jack, maybe 3 weeks, where I'm like, no, right now it's Trump. There were
Yeah. I mean, it indicators were looking that way for a short time.
and then it was clear Trump from then on. And
Yeah.
we were saying it, but apparently these political commentators, they just never, none of them saw it coming.
Well, they didn't want to see it coming. It's a problem with
Evolved,
echo chambers.
Evolved Potato, thank you. That is so very generous. Merry Christmas. Remember to spoil the grandkids. Oh, trust me, I plan to. Thank you. So generous. I'm trying to be angry and make fun of a fat retard, and y'all are being way too kind. Don't stop, but y'all are being way too kind for that.
Holy shit. Yes, thank you, Evolved Potato. That is insanely generous.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, and mainly for your continued survival. Thank you. That's gonna pay some bills because this job is paying all the bills now. That's terrifying to me as an immature middle-aged adult. We had to get mom an oxygen machine. Yeah, she's not doing real well. So I'm not gonna bring everybody down with that, but the nurse was like, yeah, sometimes, because we have an on-call nurse with the hospice people.
Mm-hmm.
And she's trying to dress it up like, sometimes when a partner dies, the other one gets really upset, and they sort of just, and then she dances around it for like another 5 minutes, and then she says, sometimes they give up.
Oh,
and I'm like, you could have led with that and just ripped the Band-Aid off, bitch.
P Dog. There you go. I even asked P Dog if he wanted to come hang out, and then I forgot to watch for chat to see if he did. And I do that to people from time to time, P Dog. You know that. You've been around long enough.
Chat.
There you go, my friend. It's in your DMs.
No, so long story short, I got to talk to the pretty nurse, and she made me sad. And it was really irritating because it's a bad combination of like, horny bunk and then boner killer.
Nobody wants a sad boner,
right?
Yeah, it sucks.
It's unpleasant and it's unfair. And now I'm getting that same feeling with Vouch on the screen. I don't like what's happening right now, and I was happy 5 minutes ago.
Oh, fuck. Faithless said the only thing we couldn't account for was the cheating. Yeah, and one of the, I think it's Vouch here, who's like, if the poll from the Des Moines Register is true, even Ohio is in play. Like, but you can't honestly believe that poll. But he did, and so many of them did. She's the gold standard of stupid. I honestly don't know why anybody thought that. For that poll to have been right, you would have had something major change, right? Like a 9/11 event kind of change. But they're all like, no, totally, for no reason at all. The entire state swung 20 points away from Trump. Right. Hey, P-Dog, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Good evening, my friends. Can you hear me?
How's it going?
Yes.
Okay,
sounds good.
Okay, good. I had to make sure I didn't have my volume up on my monitor. That's why I couldn't hear myself.
No, you got that smooth voice coming through, man.
Yeah, I got to kind of be quiet because Lady Boomer's sleeping. I'm on a break. Normally I'd be working right now, but we have a little bit lower volume on Christmas Eve at UPS, so they gave me us a 2.5-hour break, and I come home and you're on. I'm like, yes,
There we go.
Oh, nice timing. It's nice of UPS to shut down so you could be on with us.
exactly.
And now we're going to ruin it by playing Vosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're like the Grinch, monkey. What the hell?
I do this for my own amusement. Seriously, it's just how dumb this was. I don't talk about Vouch that much because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But what he says here is, I'm not kidding, Jack. It is exceptionally stupid.
Why do you do this to me?
Because it's funny. All right.
Oh, yeah. That's because
I'm genuinely confused.
Is this
why we have an
revenge for the
electoral
cow
college.
video?
No, I would do much worse for that.
Oh, fair point. I shouldn't have reminded you.
All right. He's going to be addressing his
I'm
audience.
genuinely confused why we have an electoral college and don't just leave it up to the popular vote. Because if we
Okay, so that's a question from his audience. I'm genuinely confused why we have this. And I'm not shocked that, look, we just looked at that graph that shows these people don't even know what the Constitution says, much less why it says it. So I get people asking, especially if you're in Vouch's crowd, you're probably retarded.
Illiterate.
Drooling on yourself, your nurse snuck away and you got to the computer real fast. But this answer.
You would think the Declaration and Constitution were written in Old English,
Yes.
like pre-German influence, Anglo English. Like, it's not that complicated, you guys. It's literally, you could get it translated too. It's not archaic.
It's not Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's really not.
It's pretty straightforward English. Anyway, so here comes the explanation.
had because if our elections were determined by popular vote, Republicans wouldn't win.
Didn't they just win?
They did.
A hate fact.
And by the popular vote?
But before we even get to that, the Electoral College was put in place in the Constitution, which was ratified in 1788.
There were no Republicans.
There were no Republicans.
Well, see, they couldn't have won. Technically accurate.
In fact, I think they lost that year.
Yes, they did. They did.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
They were
every
beaten
year,
by the Whig Party.
Yeah, Republicans lost every year until 1860 when they became a presidential party. But no, it gets better. But just right off the jump, because if we didn't have an electoral college, Republicans couldn't win. That's why we have it.
Monk,
Maybe.
Can I get a clarification?
Sure.
When you say it gets better,
do
you mean it gets worse or better?
It gets funnier for Monkey and more miserable for you and me.
Yes.
That's all I need. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Play.
But genuinely, why is it set up like that, like to begin with? Because back in the ye olden days, America is a very big place. And when this country first started out, when you think about stuff like homesteading or the Louisiana Purchase.
By the way, he's now explaining that we have the Electoral College. Again, Constitution passed in 1788 because of the Louisiana Purchase, which happens in 1805.
Did he seriously fucking say it? Like, how historically ignorant are you? I mean, dear God, you could easily look that up.
No, that's not on Wikipedia. He couldn't find it. Dangerous, thank you so much. If stupidity was metaphorically being the bottom of the barrel, Vouch's intelligence is the core of the earth. Fun fact, you can now give people subs on Rumble. Not sure what it gives people though. I noticed that they were doing that on X too. Apparently you can give away the premium X accounts. I'm not sure how, but
it's probably done during like live they don't call them streams over there, but live events.
Spaces and streams.
Yeah.
You get
Anyhow,
X space.
Tim says yes, that's on Wikipedia. I'm aware. Trust me, I'm aware.
I don't. First of all, I doubt Vosh knows how to spell Louisiana, but so he can't look it up. But I mean, oh, for fuck's sake, is he going to go into Seward's Folly and start talking about Alaska influencing the Second Amendment now?
I promise you cannot guess how stupid he gets.
No, I can't, because
No.
I can't intellectually sink this low. I don't claim to be a terribly intelligent person, but for fuck's sake.
So far we've gotten that it's so Republicans who didn't exist when it was put into place can't win. And now, because of the Louisiana Purchase, which wasn't in place when it was passed, could happen.
But because of homesteading, because America back then was a big place. Did it shrink since then?
I mean, you can make the argument that it shrank in our ability to reach each other, which is important to this, but we'll get to that in a second. I backed it up so we can watch this because I did cut him off.
I'm hating you a little bit right now. I took my blood pressure.
But genuinely, why is it set up like that?
Just
to begin with? Because back in the ye olden days, America is a very big place. And when this country first started out, when you think about stuff like homesteading or the Louisiana Purchase, it wasn't really feasible to reliably count and then deliver all the ballots for something like a presidential election. Keep in mind that
they didn't have numbers back then. Like, they only had up to 100.
They couldn't count the votes and get them there. So they sent electors. Oh, wait, he goes on. Hang on.
We were one of the first countries to even have a vote for something like that. So if you can imagine the logistical difficulties of having all these votes counted across thousands of miles of territory and then assembled for, like a single election, basically impossible. So instead, you consolidate the votes in each state, and the states send electors.
Yes.
There were 13 colonies. It wasn't thousands of... You weren't waiting on a transfer from California or even Louisiana.
But just think about what he said there. Because the states were so far apart, they couldn't just transfer the votes there, have somebody ride up there and tell them what the vote was. They instead made this electoral college where several people had to ride up there and tell them what the vote was.
They didn't have horse relay stations like everybody else did, where important messengers would run a package or a satchel up to another rider who would then take it to another rider throughout the night. They didn't have that.
And didn't they have numbers? Look, if they wanted to have a popular vote, couldn't those people who rode up to tell them how many give them a number?
Yeah, just portal. You put it on a scroll and tie it up and then stick it in a satchel and be like, deliver this to DC or Philadelphia at the time, I suppose. I hate this man so fucking much.
Hello,
monkey.
I'm back. Sorry, my internet died.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that code for you to fart? Okay.
No, my internet died, and so I just switched over to. We're having weather events today.
Yeah, more like even your internet hates Vouch.
Even my internet's like, fuck this guy, he's retarded. His argument here is that even though they had to go through the trouble of counting the votes to know how the electors would go vote, they couldn't count the votes, so they made electors to go vote. It's on its face retarded.
Not everybody could count back in the day, monkey.
It was a logistics problem. No, it wasn't.
They should have hired UPS because apparently linear time doesn't matter. So they just flag down a brown truck and be like, look, we need some numbers done. And they got to get out with an abacus and be like, sure thing, buddy. I got you covered.
How the hell does he think they decided who the electors went to if they didn't count the fucking votes? And
shut up.
It's so retarded, but he goes on because he's going to give us a history lesson here.
Of course he is.
In the infamous
was
words,
designed.
in the infamous
Go ahead,
words, in the infamous words of Jack Cochran, those are hate facts.
I agree.
Those are
with
hate
that
facts.
statement. That guy's very wise. I like him a lot.
It was purely a product of the logistical difficulty of managing elections 250 years ago. There's no.
That's it. Purely a logistics issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
because California didn't take 17 days to count their fucking votes. There's no logistical issues now.
I really hate this man.
Modern day explanation for it. Any explanation for it today, anybody saying like, oh, it helps the smaller states get represented? No, that's just Republican horseshit.
Unless you read the original letters or anything.
It's literally why it was done, you fucking retard.
So, and part of it too was, since we are a republic and the president of the United States back then was not supposed to have the same power as a king, it also kind of limited the power of the president to affect every state because, originally they wanted each state should have one vote for who's the president of the United States. But they made this compromise for the president because when they added the Senate and the House, they just made the compromise for the president so that we would have, give the more populous states a little more oomph, but whatever. Personally, I think every state should have one vote.
No, because see, I like how the founders set it up. I really do, because larger states, yeah, they deserve something for, some kind of representation. The whole idea of the American Revolution was about representation.
Exactly.
It was no taxation without representation. And they just wanted to be well represented. And so you have these big states who are like, hey, there's more of us. We deserve representation. Then the little states are like, yeah, but we shouldn't be bullied by you. We're part of this too, so we should have a say. And they came up with this compromise that gives us the 2 senators and the appropriated Congress members.
No, this sounds way too complicated. They had a bunch of dudes in a room who were like, I know how all these numbers work. Let's elect Bill to take over, and then because he's good at numbers and stuff. And then we'll have him wander up to D.C. and deliver the news.
Nope. What we're talking about here, even though it's historically accurate, is apparently just Republican bullshit.
That's because this tard is too lazy to read any kind of founding documentation or a history book or even the full article on Wikipedia.
It's because UPS didn't exist yet, so they couldn't get the results there on time.
Hey.
It's true.
Don't blame that on us.
If you guys had existed back then, we wouldn't have an electoral college, and Vaush could have touched himself that night. Oh, wait, no, because she lost the popular vote too. Whoops. Anyhow, he's not done.
Has nothing to do with it. There's absolutely nothing to do with it.
Liar.
They only like it. They post hoc justify it because it favors them. Because
they post hoc justify it.
I'm sure that sounded cool in his head.
By using the arguments and discussion for it at the time.
Yeah, look, again, time is not linear, monkey. So the conversations that were arguing for it actually happened in 500 years.
I desperately need people to stop misusing terms and words that they've heard.
No, word-a-day calendars exist for this purpose alone. To give people
if
like
he was
Vaush big words.
If he was correct, post hoc would be the right terminology here. But he's wrong, which makes it the absolute wrong word to use there.
Well, I mean, we are talking about Vaush.
This, in comic book terms, this wasn't a retcon, okay? It's literally why they did it.
No.
It was because the Pony Express wasn't around yet.
Yeah. because they never figured out how to relay messages from place to place in
No.
all of human history until the Louisiana Purchase.
I would love to hear his take on how the Continental Army managed to coordinate.
It was just they just kind of wandered around. I don't know. This guy's such a fucking retard.
Pigeons.
Yeah, pigeons.
Yes.
They
Pigeons.
had pigeons that would write the notes using the quills that they were naturally born with.
Yes,
Each feather is preloaded with ink. It's a little known fact that pigeons are flying squids. They're full of ink.
He's so retarded, man. All right, a little bit more.
Post Hawk.
The electoral.
Post.
Okay.
Wait, what did you just say?
Post Hawkman.
Post Hawkman.
Oh, I thought you said post Hawk too.
No, that's called
No, that's Destiny.
Yes, yes, indeed. All right. Oh, it's Vouch too. Don't forget, he was sexually harassing Cat Black.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's a fan of the wiener too.
Did they both blow Nick Fuentes?
I don't know if they both did that or not, but they both like helmet in the mouth.
Ew.
College disproportionately favors smaller states in the way that it's allocated, the mathematics of it.
Awkward.
Yeah, so yeah, there's no
Did
good
he
reason
actually
for
say
it.
that it favors smaller states?
Yes,
Okay.
that's why California. There's this idea in liberal circles that because of the way the Senate is, because when it comes, for those of you who don't know, the way that they come up with how many electoral votes you get, it's the total number of senators and Congress people you have. And a state like I don't know, Wyoming or North Dakota has like one representative, right? And 2 senators. So in the Senate, they're overrepresented, and they're overrepresented because of that in the Electoral College. But the people of California, with their 52 electoral votes, they're underrepresented because there's more of them. So if you divide it out, there's less representation per person.
I just had to pop some Motrin. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
You're welcome.
Word off Ethan Ralph.
But being it's only for the president, that's
Yeah.
like, you're just, you just want more power. That's all it comes down to. And the smaller states, a lot of these people who are saying they want to get rid of the Electoral College also say they want to get rid of the Senate too. They want the Senate to be by proportion.
Yes.
And so they want to increase the size of the entire Congress so that the Senate by proportion. So they just want power. And look, I don't want the people of California deciding how the people in Nebraska farm. I don't care.
And that is exactly why it is set up the way that it is to keep that from happening.
Look, bullies like to bully, and they don't like people saying no. And in this case, the Electoral College was clearly established in Montana by Montana Republicans after the Louisiana Purchase, strictly to screw over the Democrats so the Republicans could always win. Obviously.
When the Republicans didn't even exist yet, yes.
Hate fact. And Montana didn't exist either in my scenario, so...
P-Dog, what you doing to your microphone over there?
Nothing. I was trying to use my camera.
It
knocked me out.
Yeah, it's not liking it for some reason. If you try to turn on something, like say you have a microphone, it's not working, it'll kick you out. I don't know why.
Monkey finds that out the hard way, sadly.
I have many times, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's your retard for the night. I watched that and I'm like, even if you want to argue against the Electoral College, I mean, I understand the arguments for direct representation. I disagree with them, but I understand them at least. That's not even what he went with. He went with they couldn't count and get the number there without sending more people.
Well, I mean, they didn't just have 13 colonies, or 13 states back in the day. No. They had that whole Louisiana Purchase to worry about. Lewis and Clark were going to have to go around to every Indian tribe and get their votes.
Yes. Dangerous. Thank you. Fucking hell, Vouch. California's population is as much as nearly half the states, around 23-ish last I checked. The Electoral College stops them from drowning out half the country, you ignorant slut. The problem, though, and thank you, Dangerous, you're not wrong, but the problem is what P-Dog's been talking about. The president was never supposed to have the power that he has. The federal government was never supposed to have the power it has. Most of what happens at the federal level is supposed to be handled on the state level. But there's a group of people, let's use a name for them. I don't know, let's call them communists, okay?
Oh, that's a good term. I like
just
that.
the first word that popped in my head.
I hope that one sticks.
Who desperately want power. And they know that the easiest way to get power is through direct democracy because it's simple mob rule. And all you have to do is get people mad enough. This is why when people complain, Congress isn't doing anything. Yes, and that's a good thing. Because the more they do, the more fucked we get. Most of this shit should be happening in your state, not on the federal level to begin with. And when it's on the state level, then you don't have to worry about the Electoral College because who gives a shit? That dude's up there to make sure that the mail runs on time, that the Navy and Army are operating how they're supposed to, make some treaties with some people. That's what they're supposed to do. They're not supposed to be in education and energy and the fucking FCC bullshit. None of this stuff's supposed to exist. Sorry, my little rant.
I used to say go back to two-thirds vote on the Senate for everything. And every 4 years, one of every 4 years should be devoted only to repealing stupid laws. That's what they should
that'd be great.
That's what they should be doing every year. And to pass anything, you need 60% in either house.
Right now, we have over 400 federal agencies when you count the agencies and their offshoots. There's no reason for that.
No,
our budget is. Go ahead, bud.
Government's job has always been like an Ouroboros to feed itself. That's all they do. They just make themselves bigger and bigger. That's why we're supposed to keep an eye on them. And we've been slacking since the 1900s.
We become such a pussified country. Did you see? Speaking of which, Biden commute all of those death sentences today.
Yeah, it's stupid.
He left 3 on there because you're not allowed to do hate crime. I love that hate crimes is part of his thing.
Yeah, that's where he draws the line. You kill a woman and her baby, but God forbid you say the F slur at somebody.
Yeah. You can still get federally executed for that or for terrorism. But everybody else, the one guy killed like a woman and 3 kids.
Yeah.
And like, he's fine. Now, if we're being real about it, I'm not that upset because we don't kill these guys anyway.
But we should.
We should.
Like, I'll press the button if they need a volunteer. I mean, you kill babies and they got you dead to rights. I got no problem hitting the lethal injection. Shit, I'll give them the injection myself if they let me.
Yeah.
I'll volunteer for that. I'll take a 2-week training course on how to jab retards with needles.
Wow.
Thank you, Mighty Balzac. How about a round of Squid Games in the Senate? I don't think those old people could do it because they old as shit.
Yeah, they couldn't play dodgeball without like a third of them dying from broken hips.
Yeah, and we really do need to do something about that. I mean, they just had that one down in Texas who's what is her name? I know her by sight, but her name always escapes me. But she really hasn't been in the Senate for the last, or in the House for the last 6 months. And the only time anybody's seen her is that she showed up for an unveiling of a portrait of herself, which is a little kind of fucked up if you think about it. but she hasn't voted on any bill in over 6 months, and she's in an assisted living facility, probably with dementia.
Kay Granger from Texas.
Granger, thank you. Yes, Granger from Texas. And this came out and nothing has happened.
No, well, I mean, in the 1800s, there was a Supreme Court justice who was in a lunatic asylum, and when he got out, he was still a Supreme Court justice that entire time. So these things are not unprecedented.
Well, Dianne Feinstein died in office.
Yeah.
He fucking died
3 months before they told us she did.
Yeah.
If we're being honest about it, let's real quick. Devil Fruit Zero, thank you so very much. Merry Christmas, and I hope the granddaughters enjoy themselves. Me too. I for me, Christmas is all about the kids, so I hope they have a great time. Thank you for that, my friend. I'm not somebody who believes in the age thing, but I do believe in the cognitive part of that. And when there's clear cognitive issues, like Mitch McConnell glitching out, why was he not removed immediately?
Because they
why don't we have
these people?
Yeah, why don't we have a 25th style amendment for Congress?
Yeah, there's got to be a mechanism, at least in the states, to say, okay, this is our version of the 25th Amendment, and it's time to go. It's time to go, Mitch. Mitch, hey, Mitch, you're frozen.
Yeah.
Time to go. Let's go put you to pasture.
Jack, will you talk for just a minute?
Sure. What's up, everybody? How you doing, P-Dog?
I'm doing great. It's been well, great is relative, because unfortunately Lady Boomer and I are going to be home alone for Christmas. Because both my kids are with their other side of the families, and unfortunately, my daughter's going to be here next Saturday, but my son is in Italy, so there's no chance of me seeing him at Christmas. So it's kind of, yeah, his in-laws are ridiculously wealthy, and they do all these really crazy, wild things every holiday. And so this year they decided to go to Italy, and it's like, okay, well, I guess we'll be here when you get back sometime.
Yeah,
wow. So, but other than that, we got a couple friends events we're going to, and but other than that, health wise, good.
Good.
And I listen to you guys. I can listen to you guys live because I work overnight during this time of the year, and so I hear you guys pretty much every night. Every night you're on.
Nice.
And, so good to be back.
Do your coworkers get to hear us, or do you have headphones on?
No, I do with headphones. I wish I should have done it by speaker though, because that would be funny. No, I listen on earbuds.
You'd listen to us, and they'd be like, "We thought you were black."
Every once in a while, I tell you what though, every once in a while, I just bust out laughing, and people look at me. What's he laughing at? What's he doing over there? I don't know. So. Or I start yelling. One of the two. Like if it was the vowel one, I'd have been yelling just for be like, what is he yelling about?
Well, let's lighten things up a little bit. A woman died the other day. What?
When you say lighten things up, are you talking about the lady that was set on fire?
Well done.
No.
Oh, that was a perfect transition to the Subway story. What are you doing?
We already talked about the Subway story.
I know, but you had that transition. You got us all excited, and then nothing.
Well, I was actually looking for the article, and I can't find it, so I'll just use my screenshots. Princess Cruise passenger dies after trying to jump overboard on the way back to Florida.
Oh, good God.
Well, she got deported back to Florida, so maybe she just was sick of bath salts.
She was going to jump off the side of the boat, and being the genius she is, she didn't calculate for the deck below her.
So she didn't clear it. Oh,
she
God.
Did not clear it. She splatters like 8 stories down.
Oh, that's nasty.
And the reason I wanted to talk about this is actually how they covered it, because they say that The 48-year-old passenger was on a Princess cruise ship that was voyaging back to the Sunshine State following an 8-day trip in the Caribbean when tragedy struck.
Is tragedy the name of the deck?
And I have a problem with saying tragedy struck. It is a tragedy. A woman lost her life. That's fucked up.
More like Darwin struck.
Yes, thank you. Tragedy didn't strike. She wasn't standing there and suddenly a fucking plane landed on her. She tried jumping off in the middle of the fucking ocean. That's not going to go well if you clear the deck.
Maybe there's a serial killer out there named Tragedy, and he pushed this woman off, and then she splatted, and everybody's like, suicide. Because cruise lines are notorious for covering up stuff.
You know, the thing is, though, if you think about it, if she hadn't struck the deck, she probably still would have died.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
If you're 8 stories above a deck, which is probably 8 stories above the water, that means you're jumping about 150 feet to the water. You're going to die when you hit the water.
That's what, D6 damage each story. So, yeah, you don't have enough hit points for that. You're going to die. Then a shark will eat you.
Jim Healis over on Twitter suggested maybe her name was Tragedy and she hit the deck.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you know, was he black?
As a white man, I'm not allowed to touch that joke.
I'm the only one. I was the only one allowed to say that.
You are. I just hate how the news says shit like this. You know, like tragedy struck. No. Reality struck. The bitch tried jumping off of a boat. And I don't know how many of you guys have ever been near a cruise ship. The water line to the first deck you could jump off is still really dangerous.
Oh, absolutely.
And she's doing it in the open ocean.
Well,
they weren't like 2 miles off the coast so she could maybe swim that far like a Cuban. Get it? Never mind.
A result of people seeing too many movies, or she was suicidal, or she was pushed. I don't know.
Yeah, she hit that lower deck, and apparently there were some people who got to see it live and in person.
Oh, have you ever seen a jumper after they've landed? It's fucking gross.
Well, in this case, the reported incident is that she basically bounced off everything on the way down. She didn't jump very far out at all.
Well, that's just bad form.
Kind of thunk until she went splat.
Ugh.
Was she a bigger lady?
I don't know. They didn't show a picture.
I mean, I'm getting like a comedic sense of she was bouncing off everything and then just splattered and it all went on some little kid. That was messy and some guy's wiping it off of his glasses. And, I mean, you could make a comedy out of this.
You could, but it's really horrible.
Of course it's horrible. It's disgusting. But this is how I cope with tragedies.
Good
Me
Lord.
too. And this is one of the things about it is that I don't feel bad for any of the stuff I've said because it's funny. I was watching Patrice O'Neill the other day. I had a thing pop up today about him, and apparently he was back on Fox News way back when the Opie and Anthony shit blew up. And he was talking with John Gibson and some lady who runs the National Organization of Women there in New York. And him and John Gibson got into an argument about whether a rape joke can ever be funny. And John Gibson's like, no, don't you understand that even trying to tell that joke isn't funny? I was like, one, rape jokes can be funny. Real rape isn't funny. Real rape is horrific, but you can make jokes about it. I mean, even George Carlin talked about this shit 30 fucking years ago, and they all want to pretend. No, you can't joke about that. I can joke about anything. You might not like it. It might make you uncomfortable, but I can make a joke about it. I promise.
Yeah. Well, look, it said this was probably a suicide. Because why else would she think that she's going to survive that kind of fall anyway? Or she was thrown. I'm going with either one of those.
If it was a suicide, she's probably better off having splatted on that deck.
it probably would have been a quicker death than hitting
Yeah.
the water, breaking your limbs, and then drowning.
Or getting eaten by sharks. That's happened to somebody.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't trust cruise lines very much because they cover up so much crime,
Mhm.
and then they refuse to work with local authorities, and they've been
Oh.
sued countless times for this stuff. So I'm not convinced just because the cruise line said that she jumped, that she jumped. She may have fallen. She might have been pushed. Maybe she committed suicide. I don't fucking know, but I don't trust cruise lines.
I want to know if there's a little old writer aboard that ship. A little old lady who writes mystery novels.
Oh, and she looks vaguely like Angela Lansbury.
She looks like she could play a teapot in a Disney cartoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And she's like, this is like a book I wrote. Yeah, murder you caused, you murderer. I'm telling you, it's the tragedy serial killer.
Speaking of tragedy, I got to bring this one up.
Oh, God.
For those of you who are just listening along, this next part's going to be very hard for you to understand. But on the screen right now, it says some nonverbal ways to respond to transphobic relatives. It says relative, this holiday season and always.
Oh, real quickly. Thank you, Double Fruit Zero, for the generous donation. Hey, Jack, I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. I know I'll be upset when my dad goes. This may be my last year with him, so I plan to make it count. Fuck cancer and Agent Orange. Hope this helps with bills. Thanks, dude. I wish you the best, and make sure you do get that. Like, get all the questions you can in, like, about whatever you want to know about their family and things like that, because there's always stuff you forget. But that knowledge is when it's gone, it's gone. And try and get some video with him so you have you can remember his voice.
Keister says resting trans face.
Oh, Monk. Danger says to repin the last
Already did.
thingy, whatever that is.
Already took care of it.
Okay. Oh yeah,
It
you
should.
did. I'm on the wrong chat.
It should be all done there. First, can we start out by pointing out that this fat retarded guy on our screen is absolutely ruining the look from Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yes.
Yeah. He does not.
Hepburn, you are not.
He does not do it well.
Oh God! How dare you? How dare you? But here we're gonna just have to watch it. I turned off the volume, right? Yeah, because it plays shitty music. It's non-verbal anyway, so it shouldn't matter, right? Wrong. But I'll highlight that when we get there. So first up, there, your thumbs up. Apparently, you're supposed to give thumbs up to your transphobic relatives, which seems weird as a trans person. Okay.
I don't know what to say to that. It's weird.
So first up is look like a bouncer at a bar.
Yeah, you gotta look hard, like you've been to man prison.
I don't know. The candy cane fingernails aren't doing it for me.
No, it's kind
God.
of hard to look tough when you look like Hermie the trans elf.
Oh shit!
I'm
All
a
right.
dentist. Oh, my name is Susan. Ugh.
I'm not sure what they mouth there, but I love that they're the nonverbal ways you can deal with your trans relatives involves talking.
He was mouthing "what the fuck."
Oh,
Okay.
That's
So
not the word I thought he said.
that's kind of verbal, even though it's not audible.
Yeah, that's still verbal. You're talking. You're just not using your voice for it. But okay.
Okay, next.
I'm gonna slit your throat.
I'm gonna cut you.
Well, that's not very ladylike.
Right?
That's really not. I had an ex that threatened that one time.
Are you trying to prove you're a dude?
No, chicks will threaten to slit your throat. It takes a lot more, and they have to be very, very angry and predisposed to violence. But it's a much more masculine trait to slit someone's throat. women tend to be poisoners. So
Yeah, think OJ versus antifreeze.
yeah, exactly. That they're much more likely to slowly kill you so they can watch it happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, people slitting throats—that's a much more masculine murderous way. I guess I don't know. I'm still thrown by the stupid Bosch thing.
I cut off the best part of it, and I apologize for that. So we get to watch that now. Okay.
Well,
Throat
he cut off the best part of it too.
Yeah, no, we don't know. He might still pee standing up.
In theory.
In theory. But after he does this throat slit and points at the person, he also says you. So nonverbal you.
No.
They could have at least done some sign language.
Right.
Like if you, instead of just saying you could have been like, use some ASL.
Shahi here actually points at the person and then says you in case they're thinking maybe you're talking about the person behind you. Chris Gilroy, thank you so much for that feminist $12. Good morning, Monk and all. Missed your last couple of shows. Any chance of a song for my 40th birthday from Saturday? Merry Christmas to everyone on the panel and in chat. Well, Chris, around here we do this. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a good one, or had a good one. I really, really do.
And Merry Christmas to you.
You know what I love about
and more than that.
I'm P-Dog on. We sang a birthday song. We've had like Undoomed on, and he doesn't know that we're all just singing our own song. It lines up a little bit, but it really doesn't. And he tries to sing it like a normal person. It's awkward. Undoomed.
Oh, Undoomed does.
Yeah. He tries to do right by the audience while we're here just going, it's your birthday. We're going to fuck it all up for you.
I'm sure by the end of it, he thinks you're all retarded.
Yeah, probably.
He's not wrong.
It's not the first time a guest has thought we're retarded. It probably won't be the last.
Won't be the last.
Funny you mentioned Undoomed because I was trying to emulate his voice yesterday. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Did you ever see? Now, I don't think this video's still on the internet, but Rory the Lion filled in for Undoomed once back in the old days. Did you ever see that video?
I feel like I did, but I don't remember the content of the video.
That was one of my favorite videos, and it's been taken down because he uses Undoomed's background of that like destroyed building,
and
he's like, "Where the fuck am I? This place is scary." It was just one of the because Undoomed never addresses the background. He's just
never
blank-faced guy in a creepy background, and it fits, but. To watch a cartoon lion walk through the destroyed building and comment on it, for me, for some reason, that was one of the funniest commentary videos ever. Anyway, did you get Dangerous's Rumble chat over there?
No, I haven't got that one yet. Thank you, Dangerous. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. I write murder stories and take people out. This dude's breakfast at Tiffany's was a buffet and nobody else got any of the food. I do like how feminine he is, though. I mean, that just screams feminine, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
It's just feminine, like I'm going to be locked in his basement while he tries to make a skin suit out of the woman in the pit next to me.
He does look like every woman I've ever seen online who tells me they have PCOS.
Well, that's a low bar, but yeah.
I know. Yeah.
They'll look like they shave, too. You notice that?
Some of them do. All right. And finally...
You want to go?
What the fuck was that?
It's kind of a cross between do you want to go and I'm going to rape you.
Yeah, I mean that could be the same. Yeah.
Because at one point they look down at the crotch. Wait, there it is, right there. Why?
You know why.
I know why. Because this is a family thing, and it's clearly the uncle that touched him when he was little. See, I told you rape jokes can be funny.
See, that's where you'd think he'd be like scraping his knife and fork together, like, you know, like he's gonna carve a turkey or something.
Yeah. But no. In this case, it's him just checking out his family member's junk.
Yeah.
This is sad.
This is where, looking at where the heel of my boot's gonna come from.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just one of those pathetic cries for attention on the internet. That's like, oh, I'm internet tough. Blah, look how awesome I am. Shut up.
You're pretending to be okay, look, I realize drunk white women get very angry and aggressive, but they're in no way intimidating. All you're doing when you're trying to be that, look how manly I am, is reminding me, yeah, you are a dude.
Yeah.
Every one of those things that he did is like, look how masculine I am.
Well, these days that is feminine. A lot of women act like dudes for some reason, and men are expected to be emotional fruitcakes, weeping at every little thing.
Yeah, that really has become a giant fucking problem. Man up. It's time to stop being women. Seriously. We have enough women. We don't need you to act like it too.
Right?
Women are supposed to be like that because they're women. You're not.
That's so bigoted.
Yeah, we're not supposed to say. You're not supposed to say "man up" because that's sexist. Well, I only say it to men, so how's it sexist?
In Canada, they'd say "person up."
Person up. Now in Canada, they just say, "Please, you're making my feelings hurt."
Not the Alberta. Not the Alberta. My Vancouver's hurt. Sorry.
This one comes to us via people saying stupid shit that sounds profound but really isn't.
Oh, Fausch again?
No, other retards, because everybody wants to do this kind of stuff. The first person says, normalize being curious rather than judgmental when others that live their lives in a way you don't understand. Or two others, she didn't write this very well. Meaning, hey, don't judge people. Just try to understand what their life is like. And when I hear stupid shit like this, I immediately think, do you apply that to pedophiles? What about drug addicts?
Or rapists.
Rapists, murderers. Hey, you should not judge that murderer. You need to try to understand.
Do you apply that to Trump voters?
Of course not.
Oh, no, they're not humans. They're floating garbage, remember?
Yeah, it's a one-way lecture.
Yeah.
But the guy who responded to her is what really set me off on this one. Because, and I'm only going to read the first thing he says. He says, there is no wrong way to live your life.
Yeah, maybe that jumping off the deck of a
In fairness, that was her ending her life, not living it.
may not apply.
Well, she was living it to the fullest before the impact.
There's no wrong way. Can you imagine honestly believing that?
Nobody believes that because everybody is judgmental, whether they want to admit it or not.
It's smart to be judgmental.
Yeah, it's survival. Discernment keeps you alive. Like, oh, I'm gonna walk toward those guys that are exchanging that stack of money for little white powder, and I'm gonna say hi. They're gonna be my new friends.
Here, let me go chase those grizzly bears because that's how I want to live my life.
Yeah, look, tigers are just big kitty cats. Those bars are there as an implement of colonialist obstruction and segregation on stolen land.
If you're an 85-pound black man and you come across a clearing and there's a whole bunch of dudes in white robes setting fire to a cross, it's okay to judge them and turn around and run.
Well, you sneak away, become one with the night, because
quiet.
you don't want them. They have torches most of the time, so they can illuminate the area. You don't want to be seen at all.
No, but by this nonsensical philosophical bullshit, that 85-pound guy is supposed to go, these might be nice people. I should go chat with them.
Hi guys, can I bring
Hey fellas, where are all the white women at?
where the white women at?
You're a tiny lady in an alley, and there's 5 guys with their dicks already out. Maybe you don't go near them.
Walker.
Yeah, especially if they're like, let's find some raping. There's a lot of times that it's just a bad idea to approach others. So yeah, I don't think I could be friends with, say, the Khmer Rouge.
And may I add, that was a funny rape joke there, Jack. Very good.
Oh, thank you.
Rape jokes can be funny.
Yeah, they can. Well, if you have a sense of humor, if you're a uptight bitch, then no, nothing's ever funny to you.
It's amazing to me how many people lack a sense of humor.
It's because it's survival these days. They're not allowed to have humor because humor draws attention to you, and then you get noticed, and then you get in trouble. If the boss doesn't know your name, he can't fire you.
Well, it is one of those nonsensical things. I mean, we do have the saying, laughter is the best medicine. It's not the best medicine for cancer. That's probably chemo. But the idea behind it is that, if you're down, laugh because it makes you happier. Then they're like, no, this world sucks too much for me to ever be happy.
Misery loves company. It's like a plague. And you can make other people miserable, and for a lot of people, that makes them happy. But they just like to thrive in their own misery because they have fun sponges inside them. And I've explained fun sponges before. It's a little demon that lives inside of boring people that they can suck all the fun out of the room because the demon thrives off of that. So they walk in the room like, "Hi guys," and everybody goes, "Oh yeah, oh hi," and then everything is miserable. They have that effect. We all have somebody like this in our lives who, no matter what, they are upset about something, they're complaining about something, they didn't get their way on something, or they're just miserable fucking people. And no matter what, they are not happy. They're not allowed to be happy. It's antithesis to their being. And they want to spread that misery through the air as if it were like what they said COVID really was.
I just don't understand it. I could not have made it through life with the shit I've been through if I didn't laugh.
Yeah.
And sometimes laughing at the things I've been through.
Well, if you don't have good coping mechanisms, you're not going to get very far. Some people, they don't want to get far. They set themselves up for failures because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy then. Look, everybody's keeping me down because of my gender, my skin tone, my sexuality, whatever. And then they go out and find a reason for that to be true. We all know people like that too.
But I blame society for that because back in the day we'd tell, "Shut up, pussy," and now we're like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Can I do anything for you?"
Yeah, and that's because everybody's got participation awards now because we let a bunch of over-caring helicopter parents run things.
I'm going to give you guys some advice that's going to sound very mean, but I promise you it's for your own good. Anybody like that in your life, cut them out. If they're family, then see them, on your holidays and stuff. But if you have a friend who's constantly calling you with how horrible their life is, cut them out. You'll be amazed at how much easier your life gets.
Yeah, some people are just anchors.
Yeah, and don't worry, they will find some other sucker to listen to their sob fucking stories all the time.
Yeah.
It is not your cross to bear. Cut those people out. Do not hang out with people who are constantly miserable.
No, they're going to bring you down.
And frankly, I have very, very little sympathy for people like that.
Well, they're the cause of their own problems 99% of the time. But there is this old ballad that goes something to the effect of, "Don't bring me down. No, no, no. Don't bring me down." And I think those are words to live by.
True. It's very easy to get in a cycle of self-pity.
Yeah,
it's very
comforting.
Life can suck sometimes. And it's very easy to just be, "Woe is me."
Yeah, and if it's somebody else causing it, then you don't have to take any responsibility for the problem or the solution. Well, they're oppressing me. Well, what are you going to do about it? Oh, I can't do anything because they're so oppressive. Well, you're going to sit there and bitch? Yes.
Go take a walk. It's nowhere.
Go get a job, pussy. Oh, sorry.
Dangerous. Thank you. Thank you, Dangerous. If you're down, just laugh and it may make you happy. Does that apply just to downsies or is that advice for everyone? Also, rape jokes can be funny, because of the implication. Indeed. But no, downsies, it's amazing that we call them, downsies when they are the most upbeat people you'll ever meet most of the time. There is nothing funnier, though, than a downsy who is like disappointed.
I don't know. I've seen them run and like chase butterflies. And you see some Down syndrome kids chasing butterflies or fireflies, your day is going to get 1,000 times bright. The only thing that could make that better is if they're trying to catch a midget dressed like a leprechaun.
Midgets running will always be the funniest running. Their little arms going side to side. I cannot not
now
laugh.
Picture a Down syndrome kid that thinks that they're full of chocolate coins, and you're gonna have a good time. That midget won't, but
a midget downsy chasing butterflies.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
That is the holy grail.
If he's dressed like a leprechaun, I'm in.
What?
We're bad people. What's up, P-Dog?
You ever seen a downsy when they get disappointed and they get that look, the downsy disappointed look on their face?
Yes.
God.
It's like Monkey goes around pretending he's handing out toys for tots to downsy people just so they can be disappointed when they open socks.
Oh my God.
Click. Thanks for the picture.
I find it amazing. I love it. And you should, then give them the toy.
I'm amazed people want to come on this show with us.
I haven't been able to say a word for about 3 minutes.
I'm sorry. Sometimes it just starts happening and then people are like, oh my God, why am I on this show?
I had nothing.
That's because you're a good person and we're not.
We're hurting your reputation right now. Just pointing that out.
This used to happen at our dinner table. My children would bring over their friends, and our dinner table was, let's call it rambunctious. And they wouldn't know what to say or how to react. And we're all just cutting up and having a good time. And, you're like, no, sit there quietly, eat your dinner. It's not how we have dinner. And yeah, they wouldn't come back.
It's not that I can't do it. It's just this particular topic.
Exactly. It's because you're a good person. And the idea of enjoying the misery of a downsy makes you feel bad, like it should. But I don't have that part of myself.
No, the midget downsy running though. That's the holy fucking grail.
Well,
it's the holy grail of midget running.
There's a reason me and Monkey work together, and it's because we're both terrible people, and we have really weird thoughts sometimes. And I've had a lot of caffeine tonight, so.
And my break's almost over, so I gotta leave soon.
Yeah, your break's almost over.
But hey, if you're watching this show and you're bored, I'll be back on at 10 on my channel. So there you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Make sure you guys ask him about downsy midgets running.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
And you know what would make it even better? You ever seen an Asian downsy? It's a rare thing because you have to have big eyes.
Yeah. They're very rare.
Oh, it's so adorable. I want one.
Oh.
In your menagerie out back?
Yes. I need a midget Asian downsy chasing butterflies. Somebody make this happen for me.
The fireflies are out. I catch them and jaw for you.
No, you got to give it that downsy voice, though.
I can't do both. It's impossible to do an Asian downsy voice for me at all. I'll work on it.
P-Dog is going to do a normal show in a few hours.
Yeah, there's the link if you haven't already subscribed. I'll be on at 10 o'clock. I was going to set up my show while I was doing this, but all of a sudden we started talking about Downsy Asian midgets.
My brother, Merry Christmas, and thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys too.
Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming out, dude.
Oh, this is awesome. All right, guys, I'll see you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you at 10 o'clock if you're around. Bye.
That is over on the P Dog Night channel. He dropped the link there in chat, guys. Check him out if you've never seen him, go do it, and if you've seen him before, go watch again.
All right.
Later. I just opened another soda, as you foreigners call it.
Now, if an Asian has Downs and they get the haircut, is it an Asian haircut or a Downs haircut? Because they're very similar.
It's still an Asian haircut because the most likely Chinese, statistically, mom is going to insist on having a slightly variant of the bowl haircut. It'll still be similar. It'll be safe, but they don't want to look like Guy Gardner. The new
True.
Superman movie. Like, oh, you don't look like Guy Gardner. He's scary. He looked like Stewart.
I needed this, man. I'm in so much fucking pain.
Oh man, are we gonna have to take
we're
this
going
one down? Because
we did this on the eve of Jesus's birth. The fuck is wrong with us?
this is wee shit. I blame older boys.
You're the one who had Downsies running after butterflies. That's your fault.
Well, you can't tell me that imagery isn't hilarious.
It's fucking. I can picture it, and I need it in my life.
I know, right?
You know what's great? Anytime I talk about midgets running, I have a very specific picture in my head, and it's a story I've told before. I was walking through the living room, and my wife was watching that Little People Big World show.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is one of the funniest shows ever. Turn off the sound so you can't tell what they're talking about and just watch. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, writing your own dialogue for reality shows, always better.
And I'm walking across the living room, and apparently they went out to play soccer. And so there's this shot where they have the camera on the ground because, they're midgets.
Yeah.
And it's pointed slightly up, and these two midgets come running past with their little arms just a-swinging. And I fucking died in the middle of the living room. I could not take another step. I was laughing so hard.
Did you?
I like midgets.
Good.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You like midgets?
I was just gonna say, I want to be clear. I love Downsies. They're some of the nicest people you'll meet unless they get mad. But otherwise, they're the sweetest little kids. And I like midgets too, except for the one retarded midget I went to school with who was mean and he'd hit people with his stick. Literally, he had a cane and he would hit people with it. But typically midgets are just, they're little people, which they have to remind everybody of. So this isn't personal against them, but it's kind of like when somebody goes to shake your hand and they don't have all their fingers and you didn't know that. It's just natural to go, oh my God, why did you touch me with that? You can't do that because it's a natural human reaction. If you don't laugh when you see midgets run, there's something wrong with you. But go ahead, you were saying.
It really is one of the happiest things you could ever see. Brad Williams does a great bit about that. He's a dwarf, I guess.
I love Brad Williams.
That dude is funny,
right.
But he had a great thing about midgets running. But I used to game with a dude that only had like his thumb and his pinky normal size. The rest, when he was born, were fused as a flipper. So he didn't have any fingernails on him. They were like missing the first knuckle and a half. And it was kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie. Took a lot of getting used to.
And it doesn't make him a bad person, but us pretending that that's not weird, it makes us bad people.
Yeah,
you're supposed to pretend that you don't have a flipper at the end of your arm.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can turn it into a positive and make it a conversation piece. And I know he got a little bit of bullied for that, but look, people have weird shit all the time. Who cares? You get used to that sort of thing.
I was actually thinking about this because a video popped up for me for the demise of G4, that video game channel they tried to bring back, which wasn't that good in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
People,
the
a bunch of kids who were
frost chick
13.
with the dead tooth that creeped me out.
Yeah, her. And the original show, they're like, it was so great. And if you actually watch it back, I could see if you were 13 and they have the titty woman up there, like, yeah, this is a great show. But if you actually pay attention, it was kind of shit.
Yeah.
Well, it came up, and of course, Frost's little meltdown happens. And whoever was doing the thing, like, of course, you should never go after women for being women. And for some reason, this never hit me before. Do you know why women get shit for being women when they come into a man's space? We're actually being egalitarian. Jack.
No, capitulation is how it works, Monkey.
Well, that's what they want. But what's really happening is we're being egalitarian because as men, what we do when we get in groups is we make fun of each other for things that are different.
Yeah.
Your whole gender is different, and we're just making fun of that. If you have a big nose, you're going to be the big nose guy. If you have a big gut, you're going to be the fat guy. If you got a bad haircut one time and everything else is normal about you, then fuck it, you're the bad haircut guy. We do it to each other all the time. And you guys, that you get so offended about it is what makes it so funny. If you guys would go, yeah, I'm the woman, and join in with the joke, you'd be much better. But women don't have a sense of humor most of the time.
No.
Just join in on the joke. Thank you so much, Dangerous. Oh shit, you just reminded me. Can we get a birthday song for my friend Jesus? He celebrates his birthday tomorrow, Australian time, which is weird because it's not when he was born.
But he doesn't identify with the date that was assigned to him at birth.
Well, I mean, we don't really celebrate anything when it happened. I think maybe Pearl Harbor Day is the one.
Yeah, that's about the only one, isn't it?
Yeah. I did ask today on Twitter if I was allowed to tell a Muslim in Gaza that Allah just hates him. And somebody said to me, "You're Irish, you can just do it." Like, I know that, but this way I can say it without getting in trouble on the platform.
Yeah.
I was just asking questions.
They're so dumb questions, right?
Yeah, I wasn't saying it. I was asking if it was okay to say.
Yeah. Real quickly though, thank you, Shio. You both have DMs. Also, what's this shit about we're messed up? Well, no, I was specifically referencing me and Monkey. You guys are just along for the ride.
They're a little bit messed up because they didn't leave.
No, that shows they're good people. They're studying us, and they're probably trying to correct our behavior.
It shows they have a sense of humor, and God, we desperately need a sense of humor back in this country.
Yeah, people need to be a lot less uptight, and it's hard to do sometimes. I get that. Societal pressures made us less funny.
I've already seen the right starting to go down that, oh, you can't joke about that bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I can. You'd be amazed what I can joke about. Well, you guys won't because you've been listening for years.
Yes. Our audience won't, but other people will.
This happened to me last night. We say so much shit around here that I don't even remember everything I said. But occasionally I'll be reading the comments and somebody will mention something that we said. And last night, apparently I made a joke about that woman having pain in her stomach from not having eggs anymore. And I did not even remember saying that until I read the comment. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm funny.
You monster.
Seriously, guys, half the shit that we say here, if you asked me, hey, what'd you say last night? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, her egg carton was tightening up.
What you can't do, though, is tell me I said something that I didn't, because I will remember that I said something. But
you get blamed for stuff I say a lot.
That hasn't happened in quite a while. That's because we don't have as many uptight ninnies watching us anymore.
That's true.
Where'd all the ninnies go?
I don't know. Maybe they're upset because nobody's like, oh my God, you guys are horrible. You upset this person. You should apologize. Our audience doesn't do that because they think it's funny too.
They say a dark sense of humor is a sign of dementia. If that's true, I have had dementia at 20, or I'd have had dementia at 20. Yeah, me too. My sense of humor is very dark, very dark. I can do. They fled to Blue Sky and got reported. Oh man, yeah, it is amazing how they segregated themselves, and then they're like, X is just a Republican place.
It's just an echo chamber. I now feel, excuse me, I'm going to Blue Sky to look up weird pictures.
Where we will ban anybody who doesn't agree with us.
Yeah.
And that is how they think. They really do think that X is an echo chamber because they left.
Yes.
Well, you could have stayed and given a different opinion, dummy.
No, they don't want to hang out with bigots.
Shio, I can't read that, but I'll just top it and say my sense of humor is Sierra Leone. It is dark. Bear would have appreciated that joke. Anyway, we're going to hell. Jack, we're an hour and a half in, and seriously, I am in, so I'm going to wrap this one up. Guys, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so generous. We really, really do appreciate it. I do not know if I'm doing a show tomorrow. If things go well, I will. If not, then I won't. And so if we don't, Merry Christmas to you guys. Jack, anything you want to show?
Nope, haven't gotten anything finished. But thank you guys for the generous donations, and Merry Christmas to all of you. Or Saturnalia or Festivus or whatever the hell you celebrate.
Celebrate Christmas. It's the best one. And not because of baby Jesus. For Christians, that makes it the best one. For me, it's just the celebration, the lights, the pageantry of it. It's the best one.
Yeah, you can.
And Kwanzaa was made up, and you can, but you should celebrate Christmas too. If you're a Jew and you're not celebrating Christmas, you're just missing out.
On presents, mainly.
On presents.
I mean, how many dreidels do you need?
Ebony says it's both for me. It is for a lot of people. Me not being religious, the religious side of it has it hasn't mattered to me for a long time. But just the idea of the season, everybody coming together, love, happiness. It's why I get so annoyed when people are like, they're celebrating Christmas too early. You're a miserable fuck, and I hope you step on a Lego. Just saying.
You should be celebrating the spirit of Christmas every day and trying to get along with people and enjoying the company of your friends and family whenever you can.
And I did want to talk on that just before we leave here, Jack. With your father's passing and some of the things that we've been told from people and the shit they're going through. Don't wait until somebody's leaving you. One, you never know when it's going to happen. Hug your family, love them, tell them how much you love them as often as you can. It's not gay. It's nice to hear. And trust me, as somebody who lost my dad in the blink of an eye, there was no sign coming. It's no better to know that I missed time with him when I could have been with him, Jack. But because of my tragedies in earlier life, every time I saw my dad, I gave him a big old hug, told him how much I loved him. Do that all the time, guys. All the time.
The things you don't do are the ones you regret.
Yep. And it don't cost you nothing.
Nope.
So, Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Take care of yourselves, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Did I really just have the balls to get profound after we were joking about midget Asian downsies?
Chasing butterflies?
In the same show.
We are a unpredictable lot here.
Oh, my God. God's not fooled if there is one. He's like, that doesn't save you, motherfucker. I'm imagining God says motherfucker.
About? He made the platypus and the fucking squids. So, yeah. Have you seen the shit that's in the deepest, darkest ocean?
Oh, yeah.
God's got a great sense of humor.
he put that shit there because he's like, one day they're gonna find this and it's gonna be funny. Anyway, guys,
Yeah.
take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
It's Christmas time. There's plenty of other songs for you to go listen to. Goodbye.